What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another post game here on METS Central. And the Mets win 7-5 over the Washington Nationals, which we will talk about. Before we do, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're a Met fan, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. And I'm left feeling this game pretty much similar to how I've felt about the past few games, where it's like, yay, a win, but there's just still so much that's like, this team I don't feel like could buy. And I know the whole thing with Nemo, how he wants them to buy, but it's nights like this where, again, it's great that they got the win, but like the fact that you were up at one point 6-0 and it got to the point where the bullpen needed to use extra arms in the bullpen is just so embarrassing. And I know they got Phil Maton off of waivers, and they got, or not off waivers, they trade for him like cash or something. So basically off of waivers. So they got him for free, basically. And then they got Gage as well a bit ago. But I'm sorry, like, are those two going to save this bullpen enough? Because this is not a one-arm issue anymore. Like, this is an issue where, like, it's inexcusable, indefensible, and it's like, all right, say the Mets do buy. You cannot buy an entire bullpen to fix this team. But let's talk about the game, because there is a bright spot this game in the pitching staff, and that's Jose Quintana, who gave 7 innings, allowing 1 hit, 1 walk, and got 5 strikeouts. Why? Because Francisco Alvarez was catching, and for some reason, when Francisco Alvarez catches, well, I shouldn't say for some reason, the guy's building himself to be a generational catcher, but when Alvarez is behind the dish, pitchers thrive better, and is no exception, especially to Jose Quintana. 1-2-3 first inning. When's the last time we've seen that from him? Bottom of the first, Lindor with a single. Nimmo flies out, and then a throwing error moves over to third base. Francisco Lindor. So you have a runner in scoring position. JDM walks, and then you have Pete, which is not a good ground out, and then Alvarez strikes out, and it does suck on the pitch that he swung at there. It was a curveball, but still. Second inning, 1-2-3 inning there. Again for Quintana. Bottom of the second, Stewart flies out. Why is he in the lineup? I don't know. Vientos pops out. McNeil with a walk. Bader with a single. Lindor with a single. That makes it 1-0. And then Brandon Nimmo. I do not understand how in the world this left the ballpark, but Brandon Nimmo hits a home run to make it 4-0. That had to have been the weirdest, softest home run I've seen in my life. But regardless, 4-0, and you take it. Martinez with a pop out. Top of the third, a single from Garcia. 2 strikeouts in a row there. And then Abrams gets hit by a pitch. Thomas with a walk. So a little bit of trouble there for Quintana, but he gets out of it as James Wood grounds out. We go to the bottom of the third, where the Mets go down in order. How does Quintana respond? In the fourth inning, gets a 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of the fourth, a ground out from Vientos, ground out from McNeil. Bader with a single, and then a fly out from Lindor. Top of the fifth, 1-2-3 inning from Quintana. So again, that's the stuff you want to see, and especially because if this team does sell, which I'm leaning more towards that's what I want, listen, just boost his trade value. Like, it's such a tough road right now because you want Alvarez to catch for guys like Christian Scott because you want them to develop together, and you want Christian Scott to, gain confidence in the MLB. That's what I was trying to think of. I was trying to think of what I wanted to say and how I wanted to phrase it, but that's what I want to say. But regardless, you want all that, but you also feels like want Alvarez behind the plate to catch for Quintana because Quintana just pitches better, and if you could boost his trade value, the more you're going to get for him at the deadline, which I would absolutely love. Bottom of the fifth, Nimmo flies out. Martinez with a single. Alonso hits into a force out. Alvarez with a single, and then Stewart pops out because, of course, that ends the inning. Top of the sixth, 1-2-3 inning there. Bottom of the sixth, Vientos and McNeil get out each, and then Bader with a single, and Francisco Lindor crushes one to make it 6-0. Nimmo flies out. That's the end of the inning. And then another 1-2-3 inning for Jose Quintana, who just, again, he was dealing today, and I'm not going to sit here and complain about it. I am just simply not. He had 14 whiffs on 46 swings. Like, he was good. Like, this is about as good as we're gonna see Jose Quintana all year long. I don't know if we're gonna get a better start from him. That was much needed though. I could definitely say, And I know that we say that every time a pitcher goes 6 or 7 innings, but it's just the truth because it is just so rare that it happens. Bottom of the 7th, though, the Mets go down in order. Ottavino then comes in and is bad. Allows a double to Garcia, and then Vargas crushes a home run 6-2. Then a force out, hits Abrams with a pitch. Nunez comes in, gets a strikeout, allows a single to Wood, and then Winker comes up the pinch hit, and that's a ground out there. And that ends the inning. So Nunez getting out of trouble that Ottavino created. I know that he allowed a hit, but I'm not really too concerned about that. Nunez has still been one of the more reliable arms in this pen. And then you get to the bottom of the 8th here. Tyrone Taylor with a triple, and then a ground out from Vientos. McNeil somehow getting a double, which sure, why not? And then a ground, Bader strikes out, a walk from Lindor. Nimmo strikes out. We go to the 9th where Reed Garrett comes in. And he does a similar thing to Ottavino, allows a double and then a home run to Keibert Ruiz, then gets the next 2 outs. Young then walks, and Diaz has to come into this game, which is just complete and utterly ridiculous that that's how bad the bullpen is right now, that you had to go to your closer when you were up 6-0 in a game. Yeah, wild pitch too, which also allowed him to score, which first there was the defensive indifference, and then the wild pitch. 7-5. Then he strikes out Abrams, no problem. So not really mad about the wild pitch too much. But if that tied the game, I would have been very annoyed. But regardless, positives, Diaz looked good. Nunez still looks reliable. And then Jose Quintana pitched very well today. Like, those are your positives on the pitching front. But then again, I pose to you, unless Bill Maton and Matt Gage are suddenly the answers to the bullpen's issues, I don't know how you can convince me that, hey, they should buy at the deadline when you cannot trust Ottavino, you cannot trust Diekman, you cannot trust Hauser. Garrett, they ran his arm into the ground at the beginning of the year, that now he's really a non-factor. And then Eric Orsi, which I'm not against Eric Orsi, I'm intrigued by what he could be, but you can't sit here and tell me on July 9th that Eric Orsi's supposed to be like the 4th most reliable guy in the pen. I know you have internal guys that will come back, like Sean Reed Foley and Fujinami, but at the same time, that's like, there's still a lot, and that's a lot of question marks, because you have Bryce Montes-de-Oca, and all these guys are coming back from injuries, and it's like, what are you going to get from said guys? So I don't know. We'll see what happens, because either way, the next 2 weeks, they have to convince me, because like I said when they split with the Pirates, or split the road trip with the Pirates and Nationals, it's fine to split in retrospect, but when you're a team that dug yourself in such a hole, you need to start winning series. Like, splitting series isn't good enough. Going, win-loss isn't good enough. That just tells me you're a 500 team, and sorry, that's not good enough to be leapfrogging the Padres and the Cardinals right now, and then the Braves, of course, too. That's just not good enough. You have to start racking up wins, and this national series is so important. You got the first win out of the way. If you want to convince management that you guys should be buyers, it needs to be full throttle here. And tomorrow, another just, like, I feel like this is a must-sweep series. You got Severino versus Corbin, who you should just annihilate. And then Peterson versus Gore, which will be a little bit tougher. But if you can't annihilate Patrick Corbin tomorrow, I mean, what are we doing here? That's an issue at that point. But again, for the moment, very nice win to an extent. Again, heart attack Mets, but very good that they got the win in the first place, I should say. But again, you gotta start stringing together multiple wins in a row here if you want a chance at getting into the dance. And even then, it's like, with this bullpen, with this lineup, sort of, because it's mostly the bottom of the lineup, I don't know. But these are all questions that we'll answer closer to the deadline there, which 2 weeks from now. Talk to me then about how I'm feeling, because for right now, I'm just going to sit on this and say, you know what? They won a game. Keep going. You got to beat the Nationals here. You got to beat the Rockies. If you want fans and management to be considering that, That's what it's going to take. But that is going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Met fans. Turn on your notifications so you know I upload or go live. And I'll see you in the next one.